Yo, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. Y'all, I'm excited because we will be talking about some different things. Listen, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, I want to preface everything by saying that you will start to notice a shift in my channel. You will start to notice a shift. We're done with Housewives. I'm done with Housewives. I'm done with Bravo. I'm done with reality television. I'm done. I'm done with the Royal fan base. I'm done with Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm done. I'm done because people on X started threatening me, talking about oh, watch out, because when I find you at the Bulldogs, and I was like, screenshot sent to the FBI because y'all are crazy. Okay, y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy. And a lot of y'all have a case that can't take. You can't take my hot takes. Like, and I be sitting at home like, it's just a TV show, y'all. It's just a TV show. No, the real reason why I'm falling back from Housewives content is because it's boring to me. Okay, y'all be asking like, Aaron, where you at? Where is you at? Like, why you not on camera? Why you not talking to us? Why you not giving us the tea? And I just kind of feel like I'm bored. I'm bored, and I've been bored for T-minus 10 years now. And it just doesn't interest me as much, and it doesn't motivate me to turn on the camera and get in front of it. And so if I'm gonna get on camera, it's gotta be like juicy. It's gotta be like a subject of interest. It has to be like, ooh, like I have to be sending it to my group chat. If I'm not talking about it in my group chat, I don't want to talk about it on camera. And I barely talk about Housewives in my group chat, so I don't want to talk about it, talk about it on camera. So I just kind of felt like I want to go in a different direction. Okay? So if you decide to tune in, congratulations, you're on the winning team. You're on the right side of history. Okay. Y'all love to say I'm on the wrong side of history. And if you decide to go, God bless you. Okay. Now, listen, I'm not saying I'm never going to not talk about Housewives. Of course, we will talk about Housewives here and there. And, when some of the happenings are happening. But for the most part, I am shifting the focus of my channel. Okay. So today's focus is going to be on some TikTok drama, some Twitter drama, some influencer drama. It's really interesting. So if you are interested, stay tuned. All right. Now, remember a few months ago, we talked about Raymonte. We talked about Myron. We talked about Davy Bad. Okay, let me get a picture. It was Davy Bad and Raymonte. They didn't fell out. Davy Bad is the one with the blonde. Raymonte, the one with the pink jacket. They're both TikTokers, influencers, or really content creators, more so content creators than influencers. But it was a situation where Davy Bad had confided in their mutual friend Myron about a previous essay experience, and Myron was like, I don't believe you. And then Davy rebutted and said, how you don't believe my essay experience, but you believe Raymonte's essay experience? And then Myron took that bone and carried it all the way back to Raymonte. And then Raymonte was like, what the fuck? Why are you talking about me and my essay experience? And then it just became this whole situation, and it became social media drama, okay? And we talked about it here on this channel. Okay, so we do have a slight update. The slight update is the fact that I don't know if they're friends again, but they cool again. Okay, they're in communication again. Davy Bad went on to the Twitters and was like, OMG, Subway is my new cheat meal. It's so good. Raymonte was like, how? Basically saying Subway is nasty as hell. And Davy was like, it's literally so good. I don't even know how to explain it. Okay. So listen, I like both of them. And I love that, they kind of kicking it, I guess, on Twitter, and, they cool again. So, okay, the band is back together. I guess kind of maybe. They're probably not close as they were, but, some progress has been made. So y'all let me know how y'all feel about everything in the comments down below. Now, there have been more updates, apparently, allegedly. Now, I really haven't investigated this, okay? I haven't really discovered a lot of information on this, but about a month or two or so ago, a lot of the girlies on the TikTok were saying that Malik and Dre done fell out, okay? Malik is the one with the green hair. Dre is the one with the necklaces. They say they fell out. I don't have no information on that. I don't know why. I don't know what the tea is, but I'm just telling y'all what the streets done said, what the TikTok streets done said, okay? And I'm just bringing it onto YouTube. So that's that. Now, Today's story revolves around Dre, okay? Dre, y'all know him as content creator nicknamed the corporate baddie. Okay? Dre here, love him down. He got into a scuffle with this gentleman right here by the name of Keem. Now, I don't know Dre, I don't know Keem, I don't know them personally. I am mutuals with Keem onto Instagram. So when I saw this, I was kind of like gagging a little bit like, what the hell is going on? Like, not y'all fighting. The girls are fighting. Okay, listen. A few weeks ago, maybe like a month and a half ago, I am scrolling and trolling, minding my business, not bothering a soul. And I swear I'm not a stalker, but maybe it's just the journalist in me, but I just be noticing stuff. I saw that Dre was in Atlanta and he was taking pictures at this restaurant. So I'm like, oh, that's a cute restaurant. And then I'm watching more stories on Instagram and Keem comes up, the one with the peace sign. And, you know, I see him taking pictures at the same restaurant, but they're not taking pictures together. So it's giving secret meetup. It's giving they're either really, really close friends or they go together real bad. Okay, they go together real bad. And I think they used to go together real bad. Okay, listen, fast forward to last night. I'm scrolling on X and I see this random blog talking about how Keem is an ATL scammer that assaulted and spit on Dre after Dre found out that Keem stole his Apple Watch and cash apped himself rent money. Now, y'all, I'm stuck on ATL scammer. Or no, they didn't say scammer. They said ATL escort. I'm stuck on the ATL escort part. I was like, wait, what? They said influencer Dre Brown was allegedly assaulted and spit on by Atlanta escort Keem after catching him trying to use his Apple Watch to send himself rent money via Cash App. Sources say Dre confronted him and things turned violent. Okay, first off, is this the New York Times talking about some sources say? They say allegedly sources say Keem and Dre were messing with each other's dates. Okay. Again, I'm still stuck on the ATL escort part. Okay. And then are they saying that Keem is the one that, you know, stole from the Apple Watch? So what I'm assuming they're saying, because it's kind of confusing the way that they wrote it, but what I'm assuming that they're saying is, I think they're saying that this guy, okay, with the peace sign was kicking it with Dre. Okay. And peace sign took Dre's Apple Watch and tried to cash app him money, cash app himself money, allegedly. Okay. When Dre found out, that's when they got into a physical altercation. All right. That's what that page is alleging. Now, there was also some video. I'm assuming Keem posted this video onto Twitter and then deleted it. And the blog caught it.
Get out. Shut the fuck up. Get out. Get out, bro. Get out. You hate me, right? Get out.
Now, I really couldn't make out everything that they were saying, but I heard Keem say, I'm assuming that's Keem behind the phone. I heard him say, you hate me, right? Get out. You hate me, right? And then I hear Dre say, show everybody how you spit on me. So the spitting part was true? I hope that's not true. The spitting part was true? Okay. Whoa. And then we get another post and delete. I believe this is from Dre. It says, RIP to my glasses. Okay, his glasses done broke. And then I see another tweet. I don't know who it's from, but I'm assuming it's Dre as well. He says, yo, y'all got to keep your Apple Watches away from men. They be going through them. I don't know who wrote that, but somebody wrote that. Okay. And so I don't know if they was messing around with each other. Then Keem went through the Apple Watch and then saw that Dre was talking to other dudes. I don't know what the situation was, but it turned sour really quickly. And, you know, it spilled over to social media, which I think is quite disappointing. I kind of feel like if we're having a scuffle, if we're having a disagreement, if we're having a dispute, let's pinky promise each other to at least work it out offline. Okay, log off. Log off for me, baby. Like, why does the internet need to know all it is? Anyways, so Raymonte, okay, Dre's best friend Raymonte then enters the chat underneath the blog post, or the tweet, responds to it and says, y'all just made up some fake bullshit. In what world would this corporate girl be an escort or fuck with one? Okay, he says, my bitch would never fuck with a that doesn't already have his own cash. He says he went through her watch. They got into it. Things happen. Okay, we all get into it with a, but to make this up is just extreme. Okay, Raymonte is saying, okay, we didn't all got into it with a, right? The only difference between y'all and them is that they're popular. Okay, however, for the blog to just make up the whole Cash App situation and make up the whole escort situation is egregious. Okay, diabolical, as the kids say. Okay, so I guess he kind of cleared that up. Which, again, another thing that I find interesting is the fact that when it comes to Malik, when it comes to Dre, when it comes to Raymonte, whenever one is in drama, you can always count on the other one to either one, clarify the situation or defend the situation. Okay, when Raymonte was getting into it with Davey, you had Dre, insert himself onto X. Now that Dre is in some drama with this gentleman by the name of Keem, you have Raymonte inserting himself. Okay, listen, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong for me personally. I don't want my friends speaking on my behalf, but that's just me personally, especially in person, that's fine. But like on the internet, I just kind of feel like, I can fight my own battles. I can explain my own situations. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying I wouldn't want my friends doing that. Okay. But y'all let me know how y'all feel. So yeah, listen, if we fighting, Pinky promised me that you're not going to record me. Maybe he was recording for his safety. Maybe he was recording to know, to look back at the situation. Because I guess there was some sort of assault, that occurred. But I just hate that it hit the internet. Like, Dre has this reputation as being a corporate baddie. Like, this is not a part of his brand, right? Being spit on is not a part of his brand. So it's just a whole messy situation. And again, like, we got to get to the bottom of this ATL escort. Okay, we got to get to the bottom of this ATL escort. Why did they call that man an ATL escort? That is crazy. Now, speaking of ATL escorts, I do also want to do this video about this OnlyFans creator. This man found him on rentman.com, I believe, and took him on a cruise. Okay, when he boarded the cruise, he got flagged. They detained him, flew him back to Atlanta from Miami, where the cruise ship was. Flew him all the way back to Atlanta, locked his ass up because of an assault case, stayed in prison for 4 months, got out, and now he has to rebuild his life again. And now he's saying that Fat Rabbit Killer, is that the name of the porn star? Fat Rabbit Killer. He's saying Fat Rabbit Killer was the worst scene he ever had. The worst collab he ever did. Y'all, it's a mess. So we'll talk about that next. Y'all, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day. Bye.